A Surprise in the Hills. Written and told by Kiefer Adams. Peter, Sam and Sir Handel had not been feeling themselves in recent weeks. The other little engines couldn't understand why. "Perhaps they're unwell," suggested Freddie. "Or maybe they're just overworked," said Rheneas. "I think it's something more dire," said Skarloey. And he was right. The problem was that Peter, Sam and Sir Handel were thinking about their old friend Duke, who they used to work with on the Mid-Sodor railway before coming to the Fin Controller's line. Duke had taught them well, and for a pair of impudent scallywags, as he'd like to call them, Sir Handel and Peter Sam, then known as Stuart and Falcon, were always eager to learn from Duke, no matter what lessons he taught them. When the little engines found out about this, they decided to do something special for the two engines. But they decided to keep it a secret until the time was right. A few weeks later, Sir Handel arrived at the transfer yards to await the orders of the Fin Controller for the day. James was waiting at the platform. He had a rather sly grin on his face. "Morning," said Sir Handel, rather surprised. "Have I got any special instructions?" "Not that I know of, Falcon," replied James. Sir Handel blinked. "How did you know my old Mid-Sodor name?" he exclaimed. "Oh, no reason. Just wanted to bring it up," said James. Before Sir Handel could ask, James had puffed away. Sir Handel was in awe until the Fin Controller arrived. He hadn't even heard his old Mid-Sodor name, since it was changed to his current one all those years ago. Later that day, Peter Sam was working at the market town. Freddie, Duncan and Mighty Mac were also there. They had made their deliveries and were chatting amongst each other before their next jobs. "Morning, Peter Sam," greeted Freddie. "Isn't it a lovely day?" "I suppose," said Peter Sam glumly. "Is there anything we can do?" asked Mac. "If you want us to, of course," Mighty called from behind. No, it's completely fine," said Peter Sam. "All right then, Stuart, we'll leave you to it," said Duncan. "Shh!" hissed Mighty Mac together. Don't say that! "Yes, Duncan, keep your funnel down," said Freddie firmly. "Why did he call me my Mid-Sodor name?" said Peter Sam. "I'm sorry about that," said Freddie. "Some of us have been working too hard lately." "Yeah, that's what it is," stuttered Duncan, trying to correct his mistake. "Right," said Peter Sam. He said nothing more and puffed away. Duncan blushed and looked at his buffers. He could tell by the glares of Freddie and Mighty Mac that he had almost given something away. At the wharf, Rheneas was waiting for Thomas. The little tank engine had some supplies from the Fat Controller's railway, which Rheneas would transfer to Colin, and they would be taken up the line by the barge load. "Oh, I hope everything goes well," he whispered to himself. Sure enough, Thomas arrived, just as the Fin Controller and his assistant came into the wharf. "Ah, Thomas," he said, "just the engine I wanted to see. Is everything ready for tonight?" "Oh, yes, sir," replied Thomas. "So it's all going to go well?" said Rheneas. "Oh, yes," replied Thomas. "And where is our special delivery?" the Fin Controller inquired. "All in place, ready for what comes next," replied Thomas. "Excellent," said the Fin Controller. "Rheneas, Rusty is working nearby. Please let him know that it's time." "Right away, sir," Rheneas whistled. Once Thomas's trucks were unloaded onto Rheneas's, he set off at once. Thomas beamed. He was rather excited. with what the little engines were planning. Rheneas informed Rusty about the arrangements, and soon the little diesel was hurrying across the narrow gauge railway looking for Skarloey. He found him working on the weed killer in the valley. "Oh, there you are," he called. "Don't worry about that, I'll take over." "Is everything ready?" said Skarloey. "Oh yes," replied Rusty. "Hurry along now." "Leave it to me," said Skarloey. "My old friend Neil used to give me some acting tips. They're going to come in handy here, aren't they?" "I won't know till you get going," chuckled Rusty. And with that, Skarloey took off. Rusty took over from the weed killer and wondered what the outcome would be. Peter Sam and Sir Handel were resting in a siding. They had been exchanging how strange it was for them to be addressed by their old names. Sure enough, Skarloey came racing through. "Oh, thank goodness I found the pair of you," he panted. "There's an emergency on the mountainside." "What's happened?" cried Peter Sam. "No one's hurt, are they?" said Sir Handel. "Some sightseers have gotten lost," said Skarloey. "Hurry along now, we haven't got any time." The little engines acted quickly at once. Sir Handel led the way, while Peter Sam quickly followed behind. Had they glanced back, they would have heard a little chuckle from Skarloey. "Oh, I hope those sightseers are all right," said Peter Sam as they started to climb the hill. They had just reached the top of the hill when... "And what time do you call this, you impertinent scallywags?" Peter, Sam and Sir Handel's mouths dropped with surprise. There, waiting for them at the top of the hill, was Duke. "I don't believe it," spluttered Peter Sam. "I must be dreaming," said Sir Handel. "Grandpuff, is that really you?" "The one and only," replied Duke. "You're both looking so well, and I've missed you both." "Have you come back?" asked Peter Sam hopefully. "No, I've been brought over from my new home to come see you all for a few weeks," replied Duke, "just to help with the summer." "That's good enough for us," said Sir Handel happily. "Now, what's this I hear about magic lamps and stone quarries?" asked Duke knowingly. Peter Sam, knowing all about Proteus, blushed a deep shade of red, while Sir Handel looked at his buffers. "Well, don't worry about it," said Duke. "You can tell me on the way back to the transfer yards." When Peter Sam, Duke and Sir Handel reached the transfer yards, there was a chorus of cheers and whistles. Freddie, Mighty Mac, Rusty, Duncan, Rheneas and Skarloey were all in attendance, along with Thomas, James, the Fin controller and even the Fat controller. Duke felt very happy to be in the company of friends old and new. But no one was happier than Peter Sam and Sir Handel. They were both delighted to see before them their old Grandpuff back by their side for the first time in a long time.